My neighbor built a fence 3 feet onto my property, so I took a chainsaw to it while he was hosting a BBQ. Let me back up. When I bought my house 2 years ago, I had the whole property surveyed. Cost me $800, but I wanted to know exactly where my lines were. The surveyor put little orange stakes in the ground at each corner. My neighbor Dave moved in 6 months later. Nice enough guy at first. We'd wave, make small talk about the weather, normal neighbor stuff. Then one Saturday morning, I woke up to the sound of post hole diggers. I walked outside, and there was Dave with a crew, installing a brand new privacy fence, except it wasn't on his property line. It was 3 feet into mine. I walked over calmly. Hey Dave, I think there might be a problem with where you're putting that fence. He barely looked up. Nope, measured it myself. This is my property line. I told him I had it professionally surveyed when I bought the place, offered to show him the paperwork. He waved me off. Your surveyor was probably wrong. I've lived in this neighborhood my whole life. I know where the lines are. I went inside, grabbed my survey documents, and brought them back out. Pointed to the stakes that were still visible in the grass. See those orange markers? Those are from a licensed surveyor. Your fence is going up 3 feet onto my side. Dave looked at the papers for maybe 5 seconds. Then he laughed. Actually laughed. If you're so sure about it, take me to court. Until then, I'm building my fence. I stood there watching them work all day. Every post hole they dug was on my property. By sunset, they had the whole thing up. 6-foot cedar privacy fence. Probably cost him $3 grand in materials alone. I called a lawyer Monday morning. He said I could sue, but it would take months and cost me thousands. Or I could file a police report for property destruction and have it removed myself. I filed the report. Cop came out, looked at my survey, looked at the fence, and said, "Yeah, he's definitely on your land. You have the right to remove it." I asked Dave one more time to take it down himself. He told me to get lost. Said, "Prove it in court if you're so sure." Fine. I waited 3 weeks. Dave sent out invitations for a big Memorial Day BBQ. Posted about it all over Facebook. Epic cookout at my place. Everyone's invited. The day arrived. Around noon, cars started lining his driveway. I could hear music. Smell burgers on the grill. By 1 p.m., he had about 30 people in his backyard. That's when I walked into my garage and grabbed my Husqvarna chainsaw, filled it with fresh gas, put on my safety goggles and ear protection. I walked out to that fence and pulled the starter cord. The chainsaw roared to life. I positioned the blade against the first post and squeezed the trigger. Wood chips started flying. The music from Dave's party stopped. I could hear people yelling, but I kept cutting. The first post fell into Dave's yard with a heavy thud. I moved to the second post. Dave came sprinting around the side of his house, face bright red, hands waving. "What are you doing? Stop!" I kept cutting. Second post down. His wife appeared behind him. Then a crowd of his guests. Everyone had their phones out, recording. I didn't care. I had the survey report in my back pocket and a police report number if anyone asked. "You're destroying my fence!" Dave was screaming now. Actually screaming. I turned off the saw for just a second. "It's on my property, Dave. I warned you twice. I'll sue you." I fired the chainsaw back up and moved to the third post. By now, his entire party had moved to the side yard. 30 people watching me methodically cut down this fence, post by post. Some of them were laughing. Dave's face had gone from red to purple. When I got to the 6th post, one of his buddies, a tall guy in a polo shirt, walked over to Dave and said something. Dave shook his head. The guy pulled out his phone and started looking something up. I finished the last post right at the property line. The entire fence section collapsed into Dave's yard like dominoes. I turned off the chainsaw, pulled out my surveyor's report, and walked it over to Dave. "You wanted proof," I said. "Here's your proof." Dave's wife started crying. The party guests were awkwardly shuffling toward their cars. Someone muttered, "This is so embarrassing." I walked back to my garage, put the chainsaw away, and went inside to finish my coffee. Dave moved out 3 months later.